Hey guys, welcome back to Wix Fix. I hope you're having a fantastic day. In today's video, I'll be teaching you about standalone forms. If you don't know what those are, don't worry. I'll explain what they are, pros, cons, and benefits of using them, and I'll also show you how to set them up. But before we get started, I do want to mention that we are trying to get as many subscribers by the end of the year as possible. So if you're not subscribed already, I really want to challenge you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. It really would help out a lot. Standalone forms are basically this. They're basically forms that are associated with your website, but aren't actually on your website. And you might be wondering exactly what that means. If we check out our standalone forms in our dashboard, which I'll show you how to get to this in a few minutes, but you can see that I have 5 forms. If I come over to my Ascend plan, you can see that I am just set on the free Ascend plan, and that comes default with every website. On the Ascend plan, you're only allowed 5 forms on your website, but with these standalone forms, you can have as many as you want. If I scroll up a little bit and see the forms on our website, you can see I have 3, and since I'm on the free plan for Ascend, it's 3 out of 5 forms on the actual site. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, basically these standalone forms stand alone from your website forms. This means if your company or website needs a lot of forms, but you don't want to pay for the Ascend plan, then this is a great workaround. Another thing I want to bring up is on your websites, you are only allowed to add so many fields. So if I keep adding fields to this form, eventually I'm going to run out. Unfortunately, because I'm on the free Ascend plan, I do not have an unlimited amount of fields that I can put into this form. With these standalone forms, you can have up to 100 fields inside a single standalone form. On top of that, in the standalone forms, you can have the signature field and the upload file field, whereas on the actual website, these are Ascend only fields. So if you want to add these on your website, you need to upgrade your Ascend plan, but in the standalone forms, you actually get them for free. Now there are a few cons for standalone forms. The first one being kind of a personal preference. I would love to be able to put a logo up here above my form title. I know it's something that may not be that important to some people, but I can definitely see this as being an important feature for them. Another thing I want to note is that you cannot change the design of this page at all. What you see is basically what you get. Now, because this kind of takes you out of your website, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but if you are very big into making sure that all components of your business is the same colors, the same fonts, and everything like that, then maybe this isn't the best for you. Another con is you can't have conditions. On your website, you can set conditional rules like if else or if then statements. However, inside of the standalone form editor, there is no conditions that you can set up at this time. And the last, I guess, con, if you will, is that at the very bottom it says powered by Ascend, which again, if you upgrade your Ascend plan, you will not have to worry about this being here at all. But even though it does have some cons, I definitely see there being a huge benefit to using these. Kind of like what I said earlier, if you're a website that needs lots of forms, but you don't want to pay for Ascend, then this would be a great option. It would also be beneficial if you have a page with a lot of content on it, and then you have a very long form at the bottom of the page. Not only would that cause scrolling fatigue for your users, but it just won't seem as professional. So what you could do is have that informational page and then have a button at the bottom that links to a standalone page like this. Now, some real world cases for this is maybe like a job application. Let's say you have a page on your website that kind of goes over the job description, the requirements, and everything like that. And then if that person is interested, maybe they could click a button to a standalone form like this and apply for the job. Or maybe you're just hosting a very exclusive event and you kind of want to vet everyone that's coming to this event, then this would also be a great tactic to use. Plus, if anyone's ever hitting you up on social media about something specific about one of your services, then maybe it might be beneficial just to send them a link to the form instead of a link to your website. And let's say you have a physical location somewhere. maybe you have a job opening and you want to create a flyer for that. Then you could use the URL for the form and create a QR code that you can put on a business card, flyers, or whatever you want. So as you can see, standalone forms are very beneficial and can be used for a lot of different reasons. But now let me go ahead and show you how to set that up. If you go to the dashboard for your website, you can come over to apps, and then you should see one called Wix Forms and Payments. Now, if you do not see this, maybe that's because you haven't added a form to your website yet, which if that's the case, just go to your editor, add a form real quick, press save, and then come back here. Then you'll see Wix Forms and Payments. So once you get to this page, you're gonna see the forms that you have on your website. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you're gonna see your standalone forms. If you don't have any yet, you're gonna see an option to create a standalone form. If we press this, then it's gonna offer us some templates, which typically I would just start from scratch unless you're looking for contact information, feedback, application, or client info. But then you can just press get started. Now you can give the form a title, and you can even add a description if you want to. And then you'll notice it already gave us a field type of short text, which if you don't want this up at the front, then you can just press delete, or you can add some more and reorder them with this little handle right here on the left. But we can go ahead and just press delete. Let's say we want to start with a first name, we want to add a last name, email, phone. And as you can see, it added 4 fields for us here. You can set the question and you can change the placeholder. Over here on the right, you can set this field to required. And like I said earlier, you can add up to 100 different fields. And then at the very bottom, you can also change what the submit button says and the thank you message. Once you are done, you can go ahead and press save, and you can also preview the live form. Next to the little preview is the form settings. Here you can view the submissions, and you can also change where the notifications go. You can have it automatically go to the collaborators on the site, or you can say email only and it'll go to specific emails. Another really cool feature of the standalone forms, even though the users fill out the form outside of your website, you can actually access the information from inside the editor. So if we go over to Content Manager, we go to our forms. Here is the latest standalone form that I created, which is test form. If we open this up, we're gonna see the spreadsheet with basically all of the submissions. Now, of course, right now there are no submissions, but the reason I bring this up is maybe for some reason you have a website that displays stuff that your users submit. You can use the submissions as a data set and display information on your website just from their submissions. If you would like a tutorial seeing me build one of those out, please let me know in the comments below. But that basically wraps it up for the video today, guys. If you guys did enjoy or found it very useful, please consider giving this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you all again, and I'll see you all in the next one.